Hey everybody! Alright, so here we are, we're in Kansas City. We're down here for the Vision Expo to get our learn on and check out also some TechNet tour shops, but big convention later this week. But we got here early, and our friends at Clore Automotive, they make some awesome lights that we use in the shop. They called us up and they're like, hey man, you might want to check out our facility. It's below Kansas City.
Like below the bedrock. I mean, it's way down there. 9 million square feet.
What? We're about ready to head inside. We just wanted to check in. So we're just going to do a little video shoot of kind of their whole little operation. So little, it's huge.
It's massive.
We made it. We're here. We're underground. Clore Automotive. Look, check this out. It's a semi-truck driving underground in a cave. This is limestone. We're under the ground. This is mind-blowing. Really cool. Can't wait to see what else is in store. Hey everybody. Phil Norvold, Max-Bilt here with Kirk Clore, Clore Automotive. I'm yelling because we're underneath the earth.
150 feet underground.
150 feet under the ground, and checking out their warehousing, their shipping.
Yeah, absolutely. So we are in a complex known as subtropolis, 150 feet down in a limestone cave system. So we're going to bring you into our DC and show you around.
Sweet.
So to give you a point of reference, so this is a map of subtropolis. You entered into the front of the bluff at this entrance, and we are approximately 1 mile back into this location, so that you are here sticker. It's right where we are. So, well, we might be right here, so now we're here. But so we've got a 60,000 square foot facility where we're going to house our distribution center, our engineering labs, as well as our warranty return center, and then small production.
Cool. Let's go check it out.
Yeah, absolutely. So tech service, this is where you're going to field all the trouble calls. So we've got a variety of products to use. So anybody that would call in that needs assistance with our product, this is kind of what they're looking at.
Cool.
So we'll kind of go down the halls here into subtropolis. So again, this is built on limestone pillars. So when you look around the video, you'll see a ton of white, what we call the pillars, but they're 30 foot in diameter, and then everything else has been cleared.
Keeps everything from crashing down on top of us.
That's the goal.
That is the goal.
This is the Tricycle, so I know you had some interest in riding it, so we'll see if that works out for you.
Is this the messaging service?
This is how you quickly get around. We might need to raise the seat for you, but
no, it's good.
Fantastic.
I'll be right back. Just gotta go say it to Jason.
So I need you to pass the OSHA test on that.
I'm on it. Oh, yep. I can stop within 30 feet.
It's official.
Oh yeah, we got her. Got her all figured out.
So you might have seen a quick glimpse. So this actually is our receiving. So this is where we're going to receive all of our inbound product, raw materials for production and such. So I don't know if it'll show up on camera, but what we've got, when they blast, they don't actually get everything perfectly level. So we do have some up and down flooring as we walk through. But,
that's why I could hit those speed records?
That's one way. Any way you can win, right?
That's right. It's comfortable in here.
Yeah, so we're right at 70 degrees. It stays like this year long. So from an employee standpoint, if it's snowing, we're in Kansas City, Missouri. I don't think we said that. So we're going to get temperatures from 0 degrees to 100. We'll have a couple days over 100 degrees. So in theory, you could leave your house in short sleeve, arrive here in short sleeve, and you'll be at 70 degrees year long. So it's fantastic. One disadvantage of being 150 feet underground and a mile into underground, you don't get very good cell reception or radio reception, so you're kind of on your own.
And vitamin D.
Yes.
Don't
Well,
get much of that.
we do have a suntan.
Do you?
There's a program. Punch card.
Ooh. So once you go, that was receiving.
Right, so now you're going to move into, so this will be our production center, warranty center. So on all of our products that we do get returned to us, we're going to break them down for environmental reasons. So we'll tear the cable out, we'll tear the battery apart, and separate it as we go ahead and dispose of that. So this is what Jason's doing here.
Jason's doing over here. What's up, Jason?
And then we'll be entering into our warranty and repair center. So we've got several million units in the field right now that are active. Some of those can range between 50, 60 years old to a couple years old. Primarily with a jump starter, I always like to remind people when you buy a jump starter, you're buying a product that has a useful life. It's guaranteed to fail because the battery will eventually run out of juice and we'll want to buy a new one. Or they can send it to Clore and we'll repair it depending on what options they want to do with
How
that.
long have you guys been around?
So Clore has been around since 2001, so we'll be celebrating our 19th anniversary. But the two companies we purchased, they have one of the Century Manufacturing has history back to the 1920s, and then K&K Jump Starters into the 1980s.
Oh, wow.
So long terms, very well established brands in the industry. So we'll trade under Jump and Carry, Booster Pack, Solar, ProLogix are our predominant brands for 2020. So. And one thing we didn't talk about, and I'll grab it as we go in here. Do you guys have a PFL coupon? So with our, thank you. So with our product, let me grab another one. There's so many here.
I know.
So with our jump and carry units and our light and carry products, we offer a repair service coupon. And basically what that says, you can read it here, use it, abuse it, heck, run over it with a semi-truck, no problem. Once that 1-year warranty is expired or out of service, the customer can return the product back with the face value of this coupon. This coupon says $85. We've got coupons from $35 to $150. We'll bring it back to new. And so that could be, so this program originated in 1998, so we're 22 years into that. And some of those coupons back then were $35 for a JNC 660. We will still honor that price and bring, send that customer back a refurbished or a newer version of the 660. So it's kind of what put us on the map. So in addition to just building a great, awesome quality product, backing it with a warranty, we said, and we'll give you this coupon for the life of the product. So you just have to keep it when you purchase it. And as long as we're around, we'll honor that. Cool. And we did the same thing when we introduced our light and carry lights a couple years ago, because all of our customers knew us for this coupon. And so when we wanted to build the best light out there, in addition to the warranties, we wanted to say, and we're going to give you a repair option.
But you got to make sure you have the product. So if I magnetize that light to the frame rail of a Jeep and I never see it again, I just got to get another one.
Well, yeah, that's right. Keep magnetizing.
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah.
New sales are always good.
Well, we have good customers. I'm not going to lie, there's been a few times that we've seen the which one's the blue magnet base. There's the Mantis is the green one.
So the light and carry, the LNC 1541.
Yeah, the LNC, yeah.
The one you guys blew up.
The one that we blew up.
Well, that's the wrong word. We don't like to say blow up. Oh, the one that you dismantled.
We dismantled with a mortar.
Yeah, well.
We've had customers come back and be like, hey, is this one of your technicians? I saw it underneath the vehicle. So, Riley, make sure you keep an eye on that.
No, it is always cool.
Yep.
Always cool. And, and that's the thing, we want to build a product that's going to live in all environments.
Yeah.
And we try to build something that's strong, robust, impervious. I'm not sure bomb-proof. Again, that's the wrong word for the official.
Yeah, don't
say that. We don't want to
say that under here.
Yeah, I mean, it's going to live a daily grind. And so we have a saying around here, most of our product we build 24/7, 365. So it's designed to be used each and every day until it can. And,
Right.
and with our jump starters, again, it's a perishable item. It will eventually fail. But with our battery chargers, our power supplies, our lighting programs, we've designed them to be used in the course of your day, every day.
Yeah, no, they're user friendly and realistic. Realistic expectations about everything.
Right.
We're kind of the same way.
So what you're seeing here, and this is kind of unique, but I think it's important to note. So we kind of transitioned. We had a repair center, a warranty center, but every product that gets returned to Clore Automotive, we look at. We will disposition it. We'll say, hey, why did this product? Did it fail? Is it fail? And this one thing we see a lot. We'll get product that's back 15 years, 20 years old that says, hey, this isn't working anymore. And in some cases, we have to deliver the news. Well, it's done. It's ran its useful course. It's no longer supposed to work, and you need to buy a new one. Or hey, it did fail, and I mean, we take care of it. So. But we do feel it's very important, not only from a quality system, but also from the quality experience that our customers are going to base, that we take the time and look at each and every product that comes back from
Yeah,
Clore.
you want your hands on all aspects of it.
Yeah, and I mean,
care.
yeah, we do. So we're walking through this. This will look at. We'll have to kind of navigate it here a little bit through our engineering labs. So there will be various testings going on through the boards. Sean's here, also a Jeep owner, TJ, right?
Sean, say hi. Hi, everybody. That's Sean. He's my pal, Jeep owner. He's got a TJ, just a hair off. We're going to get it lifted.
And again, just more, Phil, more testing lab facilities, various things of what we're doing either in the R&D process or in after the fact. We're doing various testing.
Constantly striving to
Yeah,
improve.
I mean, and that's the thing. I mean, we've got to continue a continuous improvement process and all the quality systems that one would have in manufacturing. It always requires that you're looking at the products and making sure we're still putting out the product that we want to put out.
Yeah.
So, for sure. Or we can walk down to show you the cable systems.
Yeah.
So from day one, it's the experience that it goes into all the raw materials or all the components that we do. So here's an example of a cable. We use a welding cable, AWG. So this is a number 4 gauge. So if that doesn't mean anything to you, you basically got 7 bundles of 60 wires that are intertwined. But simple things like let's keep this winded up and it's flexible.
Right.
There's no and it's in the cold temperatures. So guys working in 0 degrees. He's got to get this to the battery or to the starting point to get it started. Yeah. The last thing we want to do is disappoint them because of a cold cable that's
dealing
keeked
like a
or
coat
frozen.
Hanger.
Exactly.
Right. Yeah. Don't need
So just choosing or speccing out a product with the cable jacket or the material that stays flexible and in the cold temperatures.
Yeah.
It's just one thing that separates us from others.
Yeah, that's cool. And long leads.
Well, long leads. Now,
nice.
Never can be long enough, but there's always a sacrifice. The longer cable, the less power you're going to have at the end of those cables. So,
right.
We do have to have a delicate balance between the battery, the clamp, and then how long that power, we call it the power path, how long that you can do that. But as vehicles are changing, we're finding that the batteries are in new locations. So you have under hood, in cabin, under seats, or in the rear of the vehicle. So, we have to continue to challenge our teams to design products to meet the interaction or the applications in which our vehicles or our products are going to interact with. So
that's cool.
And some of this is just raw materials getting ready to go into production. So in this case, these are our large commercial jump starting vehicle equipment designed for class 1 to 8 over-the-road vehicles. So they're just being staged. We ship these with AGM batteries. We like to drop ship these to the customer as opposed to have one of our partners just warehousing it in their distribution centers. And so we would drop ship these on most cases, and we would install the batteries at the time of order. So if you order today, we'll drop a battery package in and then ship it out tomorrow.
What's the amp rating of something of this size?
So in this case, we're going to drop 2 Group 31 1,000 amp batteries. So we're going to go through a lot of cable, and so at the end of the clamps, you're going to operate about 1,200 cold cranking amps, because it's a cold cranking battery rating, at the 12-volt side, and we're going to drop down to about 800 on a 24-volt. So this is a dual voltage system, 12 and 24-volt.
So it puts the 200 amp wheel charger that you plug into the wall to shame, kind of?
Well, I mean, in a way. I mean, so that might be a charging rating. What we're doing here is we're providing instant amperage to start that vehicle.
Engine start.
Yeah. So in most of those applications, you're going to see 1 to 3 batteries, 4D to 8D size. And so, if it's just a battery concern, so we're just getting to turn that starter over, we found that this product is more than enough power to start multiple vehicles on a single charge.
Yeah. Or Adam, those old wheelies with the carburetors, that when it's 20 below zero and we're trying to get it running for 15 minutes.
Well, and there's always cantankerous starts. There's we
yeah.
get challenged all the time. Can you start the tank? Can you start that truck that has been in the lot for 2 or 3 years?
Right.
And hey, we'll try.
Absolutely.
And with any of the jump starting applications, I mean, the goal is to start as much as we can, but we're always going to run into one of those deals.
Sometimes we just have to change the batteries in the parking lot because after 4 or 5 years freezing and thawing, yeah,
and in most of our products, one of the testing, we'll actually remove the vehicle batteries out and we'll test just with the unit itself to, for consecutive starts. So we've got some units, and we won't advertise this, but we've got well over 300 jump starts on a single, that's disconnecting the vehicle starter or alternator off the system and battery. So that's just our product, on vehicle starting it continuous and somewhat of a controlled environment. So I don't want to misrepresent that.
No, absolutely, I understand. I mean, you got to know.
Yeah. That's the number one question is how many can you start? And
right.
And if you read the manual, we'll say, well, start after recharge after every one. Reality is, we're going to see 6 to 10 jump starts fairly easy if it's just needing a battery engine start. It's just a one battery concern. But we've got some customers start 30, 40, 50 cars on a single charge. So
yeah, that's cool.
So we can walk into the distribution center. So what we just saw, I mean, it was a quick view. You saw some of the engineering labs, saw some of the warranty repair center. But this is, as we walk through, this is where we house all of our finished goods into distribution. So stack them high, watch them fly, right? And
that's right.
That's the deal. So we are coming, this visit, you're visiting at the end of the winter season. We've probably got another 30 days left. So inventories are going to be a little lower. We just came through that. But we stock 90% of our customers' products we're going to stock in our Kansas City distribution center, which you're here at here. For our European customer bases, we do have a site over there in the Netherlands. But for North America, most anything that we ship is going to come out of Kansas City.
Well, it's centrally located. You can reach all areas of the country.
Yeah, I mean it's it's a great location. We've got major highways down here, so from a shipping standpoint, it's a great location. And now that we're the Super Bowl champions,
right?
I mean, who wouldn't want to live here? And the one fun fact that we like here is in the last 8 years we've won the Super Bowl. We've won the World Series with the Kansas City Royals in 2015, and in 2013 we won the Major League Soccer championship with the Sporting KC franchise. So in 8 years we've got 3 major championships.
The trifecta.
And if you want to count St. Louis, we've got the Blues in the hockey.
It is in the state.
It is in the state, so we'll claim them every once in a while, right?
Right, when they're doing good.
Fellow Missourians, as we go forward. But yeah, this is, I suspect, like any distribution center.
It's awesome. I just seeing that. That's the first tool that I've ever used, made by Solar. Yeah,
so the Solar, so that's a 100 amp battery tester, commonly known as the cheese grater.
Yep.
But it has a coil wire is the load. But it gets the toaster name because when you heat it up, it gets orange and you know.
Smell that like dust, like burning dust.
Right.
I was just telling one of my guys the other day. He's like, how do I use this? Just hook it up, push the button, and if you smell what smells like burning dust, you know it's working.
It does, and it's still a very common battery tester. We've come a long way in the digital world, because you don't have to have a fully charged battery, but there's always a need for coil wire and some type of invasive battery testing.
Yep, it's
so
just
carbon piles
simple,
and such.
easy.
Yeah.
Yep. Well, cool.
Right, and that's I don't know what your audience is. So we're in the battery service, so we sell jump starting equipment, we sell battery charging, diagnostic equipment, on vehicle power supply for to support reflashing, reprogramming, as well as the new ADAS systems that are coming on board. So connecting the car, I always like to say hood up. The first thing you should do is connect Prologic's the charger or the unit. So you have clean voltage, clean amperage on that vehicle while you're doing any
well,
type
then
of
as
general repair.
a diagnostician, yeah. As it's one less thing that you have to second guess. Is my battery charging giving faulty readings? Especially with how many lines of code and electrical is being used on the.
Well, it's just eliminating a possible chance, and
Right.
Voltage, electric gremlins, if you will. You could identify that and waste a few hours on
absolutely.
the time.
My grandpa always said, no matter what the problem is, start with your battery connections. Make sure you got a good battery, good power, because otherwise you can be chasing your tail.
Yeah, and it's about plugging in, and we're going to see that continuing to be something that the technicians will do as those vehicles come in line, as newer models make their ways into the shops.
Yeah, your guys are constantly evolving with the changes of the demands of the electrical and the battery.
Well, we as consumers, right? So
Right.
if you look at 2020 vehicles and you look at the platform and driver assistance systems, and that'd be the front collision repairs. That's going to be your virtual bumpers, your radar systems, lane departure systems. That's all new. I mean, that's all relatively in the last 15 years new, and those are new requirements that is being put onto the vehicle's electrical system. And those are new challenges that all of us are going to have to face. And one of the things that we build is our Prologic's 2320, our 6100s as an example, is just an on-vehicle power supply.
Yep.
So I always like it. It's no different than our phones, right? So,
Right.
Before you do anything major, you're going to plug that in. You're going to plug your laptop in.
Yep.
Before you update your reflash, your software, that's identical to the way we're going to operate on today's vehicles. So before we do an update,
Right.
you have to make sure that you're plugged in. So during the course of that update, the vehicle has enough power and we don't shut down.
Well, as a consumer, I just want my car to work. I want all my electronics to work. And you expect that, even just like you said with the phone thing. Sure, I get really annoyed after 2 years when my phone magically all of a sudden doesn't have battery life anymore, and that's the struggle. It's frustrating. It's a pain point for me as a consumer. But there's a ton that goes into the back end, and I'm seeing that today. Just getting this awesome tour with you guys. That it's not just flip the switch and the light comes on. There's a lot that goes into making all of that work.
Yeah, and for most of us, and you guys, building custom Jeeps and such, I mean, but most vehicles are personal transportation to get us from point A to point B.
Right.
And to your point, that experience, they just want to make it as easy as possible.
Yep.
So you might have to change the tires every, so years. You got to put fuel in the car.
Right.
But the last thing we want to do is deal with all the challenges that are now coming with today's cars.
Right.
And we like those creature comforts, right? We like to be able to have, the automated vehicle system. We like to be able to Bluetooth into our phones. In some cases, vehicles have, automatic windshield wipers. These are
Right.
comforts that are coming. Rear backup cameras would be another example. So these things are being pushed and becoming part of our lives, and we just have to make sure that we're supplying equipment, and then our technicians are able to service these vehicles. So that, again, the goal is to get customer from point A to point B, in that most cases from home to work or whatever.
Right.
So, while we are enthusiasts, we like to build our Jeeps and
Right.
go down to Moab and all that, and those are really good things too. But
Right. Well, we see that a lot too, even in some of the modifications. Like, it used to be like, oh, you don't have enough power, yank the motor, drop it in a V8 from
Right.
the junkyard, just move on. And it's not like that anymore. Because then that's the other thing. You have to have all of these different things talk to each other and work together.
Correct.
In our world, the Chrysler CAN bus system was a unique hurdle to understand, because it's not the same as just, well, I don't know, power starts here and comes to here, right? No. And everything, resistance, all those different things are measured completely differently.
Yeah, and change is good though.
There's my bike again.
There's your bike. Yeah, they're doing it. Just think what the guy said when the fuel injection system was replacing the carburetor.
Right. Yeah. Exactly.
So it all happens. So.
Yep. Yeah, and you can't really you can't change that evolution, but you have to be able to adapt to it.
Right. So just aisles and aisles of product waiting to for you to sell.
Right. Deal.
Deal.
All right. Well, I'll do my part and I'll keep using it. And you know, that I just have to keep finding new uses for the new stuff. You guys have, I think I heard about 250 different product
We do currently, and we'll. So that'll be separated between our battery service, so battery chargers, on-vehicle power supplies, jump starting equipment, battery testing equipment, and like power inverters and things of that nature. You know, we didn't really talk about battery testing, but that's just as important to the on-vehicle and battery charging as well. We've seen a significant evolution in batteries over the last 20, 25 years. And so, you know, with that service rider, you know, as he's interacting with the vehicle, and, you know, we call it triage, you know, the first thing he's doing, you know, going over it, you know, he may see multiple types of batteries on a vehicle, depending if you're running a quick loop system or just a general automotive repair. And, you know, testing of that battery, you know, is a service that's good for the consumer.
Yep.
So if you're in a start-stop system, you may have two batteries on the system. So you may have to interact with a flooded acid battery and then go to an AGM battery. You might have an EFB battery or multiple types of AGM-style batteries, a flat plate, a spiral, etc. And so, you know, our testing equipment has evolved just as quickly as well, so that they can deliver accurate results to the consumer or that service rider, so that, again, he can have that conversation with the consumer saying, hey, your battery is coming you know, weak, or you might want to get prepared or such. So
Cool. Yeah.
it's a cool time, you know.
It's kind of wild.
It's 2020, and I think we're going to have the next 20 years in advancements is going to be pretty incredible. And
Well, you think, I had that conversation with a friend the other day too. You think of where we've come in the last 10 years.
yeah,
I mean, we've made more investments, I feel like, in the last 10 than we probably did in the previous 50 in 10 years. What's the next 5 or 10 years going to be? I mean, as much as we want to say we have a crystal ball and we have some sort of inkling, we don't really know where it's all going to end up.
no, I do, you know, but in the U.S., I think we're pretty confident we're going to have personal transportation, and that's going to look in the similar form factor. You know, what's the propulsion system? Is it going to be an ICE? Is it going to be an EV, a plug-in? You know,
Right.
what technology, what, you know, driver-aided assistance, you know, are we going to get?
Right.
You know, I've got a 15-year-old that's coming on, going to be driving pretty soon. You know, probably never have to drive a manual transmission anymore. You know, so
Right.
that's not going to be something that she's going to know in her life.
Also weird.
You know,
Sad.
lots of assist. Well, yeah. Yeah. But the automatic transmission, I mean, it changed people's lives.
Oh,
right?
absolutely.
And allowed a lot more accessibility. And so I look at her and those challenges that she's going to have, and, you know, do we get lane departure systems and front collision systems? You know,
Right.
that's going to be her new. You know, that's
Right.
her normal. Where in our normal, it was manual transmissions.
Well,
and
we've seen
things.
so many changes that I feel like the changes are going to be big, but they're all going to be around the same ideas of some of the technology that's out there. I feel like you say, sure, it might be, EV might be more prevalent. It's there now, but it might just continue to get refined. But yeah, the going from a carburetor, we've seen carburetors, fuel injection, you know, and now hybrid, and then electric, all of this different. I don't know if we're going to see that many jumps in the future. Maybe, but
Well, the thing that's, if we just look at the electrical system and the what's surrounding that today, you know, and if we would have looked at what we wanted to do 20 years ago versus what we're doing for this decade, if you will,
right,
you know, it's a completely different roadmap for us. And, you know, on-vehicle creature comforts, if you will. I mean, just the amount of computer modules
Right.
on today's vehicle that help us become better drivers, well, you could say better, but, you know, help us become, you know, drivers, wasn't expected. You know,
Right.
it wasn't there.
nobody
So,
would have.
No.
Nobody would have saw that, you
Yeah.
know. I mean, maybe some did.
And, you know, lighting was one of those other examples. You know, I know you guys have a lot of fun with our lights, but, you know, personal lighting, work lights, you know, that was tethered for
Right.
years. You know, you had your drop lights and such. And now you have the ability to have, you know, pocket, you know, LED, good quality lights
Right.
to illuminate your workspace.
And they'll work circles around the old stubby 2 that I remember
Yeah.
even 5 years ago when I was like, all right, when I was designing the shop in our addition, I'm like, I'm going to have this hanging down. I'm going to have a cord hanging down.
Right.
That cord and that light, we never use them anymore. We hardly even use the airlines now that we're running a lot of
Cordless, yeah. And so, you know, again, I think kind of going back to our fun of this discussion, which is the next 20 years is going to be awesome.
Yeah.
Right.
No,
We're going to see a lot of advancements.
And be more efficient in different ways.
In different ways.
In different ways.
Like now, talking to you guys on social media.
Right, yeah.
Didn't even
It's
exist.
going to go from here to there,
Yeah.
and you guys are going to be able to experience this when in the past, I mean, we're recording on a cell phone, you know, and that cell phone is going to give us great.
Is that pink, by the way?
I just got that for Tommy, too.
Yeah.
Thanks, Tom. You're a good sport.
The Max-Bilt guys and the pink Jeep.
Right,
And
exactly.
the pink iPhone.
Well,
No.
cool. On that note, thank you very much for the
absolutely.
time. And I mean, one thing I've learned in the professional space, at some point or another, you guys have had your hands into, I would say, a very large majority of that starting, charging. So I appreciate, on behalf of me as a shop owner and user of your guys' stuff, thanks for pumping out stuff that is helping me do my
Yeah.
job better.
Well, I mean, we appreciate it. Appreciate you guys spending the time. I mean, it's pretty simple for us. We're just solving problems.
Right.
And, you know, and someday somebody woke up and said, I need to be able to jump start my car myself.
Yep.
So we built a handheld jump starter. You know, we need to charge batteries. We need to maintain batteries. Now we need to provide on-vehicle power.
Right.
And so, you know, we love it, and we try to build product people want to buy. And
Well, and as a
it's pretty
gearhead, just
simple.
being able to come in here and see kind of how it's made, how the different processes work,
Yeah.
it's fun. It's exciting. So,
All right,
thanks,
sir.
man.
Thank you.
Awesome.
Have a good day.
Appreciate it. You too.